We knew it would happen eventually. We just got our first look at AI on Xbox. Not shocking in the least bit here, Microsoft, or should I say Xbox, has finally shown off what their AI/Xbox experiences are going to be looking like. Now, Microsoft has obviously been shoving Copilot really just kind of into any and everything, but at the company's kind of like Windows AI/Surface event today up in Seattle, we got our very first look, and video by the way, which we'll take a look at here in just a second, of what AI is going to do to your gaming. Now, this is just one specific scenario, and so I'm going to throw some images up here because there's no reason to delay this at all. And so these images come from Mark Hatchman on Twitter, and I'm sure Xbox and Microsoft will finally release the video, but as of the recording, they hadn't done this yet. But these were taken of the experience. So what you are looking at here is obviously that is Flight Sim in the background. And what Copilot can do, or AI in this example of what they are showing off, is it can understand what is on the screen, like the specific scenario that you are in, and then it's kind of like a game guide. So it's going to offer up suggestions based on what you're doing. So this is actually has really good potential use in specific scenarios. This is one, keep in mind, this is one scenario where it's like, look, this person's flying. What can we do to improve their game? Now, I don't think these are things that are just going to show up. I think you're going to have to invoke this type of an experience. Be like, hey, I need help, AI or Copilot or whatever we're calling it. And then these things will pop up. Reason I say that is that you can see here with Solitaire, and yes, Solitaire is getting the AI treatment too, because hey, you can't have something without Solitaire. So here's what happens is you ask it and say, hey, I need help. And then it can understand what is on your screen and help you just say, like, look, what is my next best move for this game? And that's where the AI is supposed to come in and help you out at the end of the day. Now, whether or not that's useful to everybody, I don't know, but you know what? There are definitely things that give us some prominence that says, hey, this actually is. Remember all those game guides that we used to buy back in the day? And if you don't know what a game guide is, get off my YouTube channel because you're probably too young to know. But what I mean, they are, you used to be able to go to a store, buy a physical magazine that helped you with like tool tips and other things to help you get through the tough levels. So that is what this experience is reminding me of. It's like, look, this user's stuck. AI can read the screen and understand what is going on and try to help you get through that. And you can see here, this looks like a Sea of Thieves sort of experience. And so this, I think, is actually going to help people really onboard into games better. For people who aren't familiar, there's things called OOBEs. That's what's called in the Windows world, or out-of-box experience. And so, somebody jumps into a complex game, it can be very hard to get up and running because you can't truly predict every single thing that they are going to want to ask or have a question about. So what you do is you try to put these general guides into a basic, easy level to help them get experience with the controls and everything else. But that eventually ends, and then you just kind of shove that user out into the world. Like in this here, you can see in Sea of Thieves, just out onto the beach. And so the question becomes, it's like, well, how do you use your compass? If that wasn't in the out-of-box experience, which again, you have a finite amount of time to grab the user's attention. So making the first 20 minutes, that's an exaggeration, a basic, reading the instruction type game, you're going to lose people. So the content here and the recommendation or the look appears to be that, hey, you can reduce those out-of-box experiences with real basics and then let Copilot or AI, whatever this is, whatever they're going to call it on Xbox. I'm assuming it's Copilot, but that doesn't really feel gamery, Xbox Copilot or whatever. It's going to help you onboard users or get into the game without having to feel stuck, right? We've all been there. Everybody's played an RPG at some point. You're like, I just don't know what to do and I'm lost. And so then you just chuck the game away and never played it forever. That is what the scenario here is that they are trying to avoid. And actually, there's a pretty good one with Minecraft, which I will show you a video of right now.
Hey, Copilot, how's it going?
Hey, it looks like you're about to dive into some Minecraft.
Yeah, I'm trying to figure out how to make a sword.
To craft a sword, you'll need some materials. Can you open your inventory? Just press E on your keyboard. You've got some sticks, perfect for the sword's handle, but it looks like you're missing the material for the blade. Let's start by gathering some wood or stone. Shall we head out and find some resources?
Yeah, that sounds great.
Now that video isn't the be all end all. If people are expecting like, hey, that's pretty dumb, I don't like that AI, I already know how to play Minecraft, you're like completely missing the point here. This is very much a crutch, if you will, to help people get onboarded. However, that doesn't mean that's all the AI. Someone's going to look at this and say, well, Xbox V Next or whatever next version, that's all they're doing, they're screwed. Like, no, I think this is just one flavor of AI that we'll eventually see. There's a lot of ways developers, I believe, will absolutely be taking advantage of this. And these are the things that, like, when people say, Brad, what do you look for when Microsoft's talking about gaming stuff? It's like this kind of stuff specifically. There's more than likely going to be some world generation AI tooling come into the Microsoft tool chest. Very obviously, we think there's going to be text generation, right? We've already seen that in some games. Galactic Civilization 4 is one of them, where AI can help massage scripts or make NPCs. And this is where I think it really makes the most sense, where you can make NPCs have multiple voice lines at the end of the day, where it's not just one, phrase. We've all done that. You walked up to the guy, he says the same thing. Like, they can truly be interactive, those sort of things. And I think other background tasks, like, to me, I think Microsoft is going to build up a tool chest of AI tools and functionality at the end of the day, hand those over to developers and say, hey, bring this stuff into your game because this is how AI makes sense. And then you layer it on with something for the truly direct end user experience, and you actually probably have a pretty compelling functionality that will be part of what I would assume to be the next generation. At this event, Microsoft talks about what they call Copilot Plus PCs. It's traditional classic Microsoft branding that's kind of hard to follow or understand, because you see the plus sign, it looks like Copilot Plus PC, but it's like my PC already has Copilot, so is it plus, minus, whatever, division sign, something else, doesn't matter. Does not matter at the end of the day. But the next generation, or those Copilot PCs, have to have an NPU with its at least 40 tops, or that is the performance rating. So I think it's fair to say for the next generation of Xbox, we will see an NPU in that next generation Xbox of at least 40 tops. I think that is probably a given at this point, and that things will just build from there. What I actually kind of truly expect is that Microsoft actually might build their own model that runs on device. We're starting to see more and more on device things come from Microsoft, like 5.3. And so Xbox might actually be going down that road too. Again, we're several years away, but for a console to ship in several years, Microsoft's got to be working on it today. And what they're doing on Windows and on the Windows gaming side, this is very much an Xbox experience. I mean, they literally had the logo. Well, it's just off the screen there. Good job, me. For cropping that out in this specific image. They had the Xbox logo and talking about this. And obviously Sea of Thieves is that type of an experience, or what they're showing off here. Now, we are still some ways away, because I don't know, and this is like one of those questions we don't know, is the current generation Xbox capable of running one of these AI tools that would allow you to do this? My gut says probably not. That we're probably not going to see that in the current generation. They'll keep that locked to next generation, even if they could, right? There's only a finite amount of compute in a box, so unless it's like a real simple game like Solitaire, you're going to be sacrificing something somewhere along the way. And so right now, this might just be a PC gaming thing until the next generation Xbox comes online, and then you will see that thing show up on their box. So it'll be interesting to see how the community reacts, and now it'll be also more interesting to see how like aggressive Microsoft gets with this, because like a gamer like myself, especially in Call of Duty, I don't really need that stuff. I don't really want that stuff. I don't want that stuff to take away from my frames per second or anything else, or add more latency, right? Gaming is a very latency and input specific timing. It's just very sensitive to all that. So an NPU or AI overhead better not impact that, because I think a lot of gamers like myself would be upset. Either way, the reason I call this out, this is the first time we have, I think, ever seen Microsoft really showcase how this is going to happen. Somebody's going to look at this and say, hey, it's not all that, whatever. But to me, this is just that first look that we've all been waiting for. And at least now we have a better understanding of how Xbox is going to approach AI. And so if you want to stay updated with everything happening in the world of Xbox and beyond, make sure to keep it subscribed here, because only BS on this channel is me.